Hello, everyone. So you're probably wondering why I'm talking about The Biggest Loser today. Yes, when The Biggest Loser went off the air, I thought, hallelujah, that show, I watched a lot of it and I would just cringe every time I would watch it. So I want to talk to you about it. Why? Because I read the other day that they're doing some kind of revamp of it and they're going to bring it back. And I thought, wow, that's not the direction we need to be going. That is completely TV, and people lose a lot of weight and they get beat up and then they gain it back. Why do they gain it back? Several reasons, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. The Biggest Loser, yes, people lost a lot of weight, but at what cost? Number one, because you saw, if you ever watched The Biggest Loser, you saw that most of what they paid attention to, the bulk of the show, was beating people up in the gym. Now, I'm a big proponent of exercise and weightlifting and aerobic exercise and anything to get your body moving, to get your body stronger in every way. I'm a big proponent. But where they miss the boat on that is only a maximum of 20% of weight loss is actually exercise. So how did they lose so much weight on The Biggest Loser? They restricted calories. That's how they did it. And they exercised hours and hours and hours every day. And that's just not sustainable. So what I want to talk to you for a couple minutes about today, and basically simply because they're bringing it back, and I don't want people to think that this is a good way to lose weight, is why people lost weight, why it's not a good idea, and really what they didn't even address. They didn't even address in The Biggest Loser the things that will sustain weight loss. Okay, so for one thing, if exercise is a maximum of 20% of weight loss, then what's the other 80+%? It's what you put in your mouth. And they didn't really even address that. I mean, on every now and then on a show, they would say, oh yes, and so is eating, I don't know, whatever kind of turkey or Subway sandwiches. So you could actually see who their advertisers were, because that's the food that they had, that they fixed for them, that they taught them to cook. They didn't teach them how to eat right. They didn't teach them how to eat in a healthy way so that they could build their health, right? It was just a TV show, and I know that we think, oh, it's just a TV show, I'm just watching because it's TV, but they had a following and they had ways to get people engaged outside the TV show. And that was really concerning for me, because people outside the TV show didn't have the doctors like waiting at the ready in the gym for someone to die of a heart attack and for them to have to go revive them, right? And when you put a 400-pound person on a treadmill and just beat and beat and beat and beat and beat on them, something bad's going to happen. Nothing good can come of that. And they showed some of those experiences, right, on TV. I'm sure there were many others that they didn't show, that they edited out. In any case, what is it that makes a good weight loss program? Well, it's not losing 300 pounds in 4 months. That's not a good weight loss program, because it's not sustainable. They didn't teach you how to keep the weight loss off. And what they taught the people on the show is that you have to exercise 3 or 4 hours every day to keep your weight off. And who does that besides personal trainers? Adults, I mean, maybe if you're 18 or 20 or 22, you've got time for that. But as you move up into adulthood and you have other responsibilities, you've got a full-time job, who has time to exercise 3 or 4 hours every day? So even if that actually worked, it's not sustainable. So that's number one. So let's get exercise to 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day, doing things that actually work to strengthen your body and that actually work to build your body in a healthy, safe way. So that's number one. But still, we're not addressing weight loss at this point. Exercise addresses the health of the body, the strength of the body, and things like that. You might you know, yes, you're burning some extra calories, but not significantly so, especially not if you don't change what you put in your mouth. So the biggest thing you can do to lose weight is change your diet. How do you do that? What is the best way to lose weight? Is it losing 10 pounds in the first week you're on a diet? No, that's really not the best way to do it. Unless you've been on a high sodium, high processed food diet and you just set all that aside and you get on a healthy diet, then you're going to lose that because you've reduced the amount of sodium in your diet, and therefore all the water weight that you've been carrying just drops off. So if you lose 10 pounds in the first week of any diet program that you do, just know that it's water weight. It's because you've reduced the sodium in your diet, so you're no longer retaining water, and you drop that. It's a good thing, but you're not losing fat. You might lose maybe a pound of fat, but it's unlikely you lose 10 pounds in a week and you go, wow, I lost 10 pounds of fat. Actually, you did not. You lost 10 pounds of water. So again, not a bad thing, but the best way to lose weight sustainably and to build your health at the same time is to lose about 2 pounds a week, 2 to 2.5 pounds a week. Now, we in our society, we want immediate results. We are immediate gratification. We don't have an attention span. But really, if you want to sustain weight loss, you have to have a program that's sustainable, right? That you can see yourself doing after you get to your right size weight, after you get to your ideal weight, whatever that is. And I was talking to someone earlier today and I said, what is your goal weight? And she said, I don't really have a weight. It's just how I feel in my body, how I feel in my clothes, like that, you know, like, and I was like, she's got that's the right idea. It's not about a number on a scale, although that's some way of measurement, right? So we have a target weight, but it's really about right sizing the body. Now, the second thing, back to Biggest Loser, the second thing, or maybe the third or fourth thing, anyway, that the Biggest Loser didn't do is, and I'm sure that in this revamped version of the Biggest Loser, they're not going to do this either, is they're not addressing the emotional aspects. And you might say, well, now, wait a minute. I watched Biggest Loser, and every episode they took someone outside of the gym who was breaking down crying, and they talked about their childhood, and they talked about the abuse, and they talked about this and this and this for, 5 minutes or half an hour or whatever that was. Yes, they did, but they didn't address it at a level that would make any difference. Once they come out of the Biggest Loser structure and program, they're going to go off and just continue their emotional eating because that wasn't addressed at a deep enough level. So, and I found in working with clients with food issues and food relationship issues and emotional eating and stress eating and all these things, over the years, everybody has a different way that they use food, right? So you might not say, well, you might say, I'm not a food addict, or I'm not a carb addict, or I'm not a sugar addict, or I am a food, I do eat compulsively. I do eat, come 7 o'clock in the evening, I eat straight through until 10 o'clock, whatever I can get my hands on, or not. It doesn't matter. We all have a relationship with food. Some of them are healthy, some of them are not healthy. But the way to get sustainable weight loss is to get your relationship with food also right and healthy. So right sizing your body, but one of the ways to get there, it's not just a food plan. It's not just creating a diet that works for you, although that's super important. You also have to deal with the underlying emotional issues and how you got overweight in the first place. Well, you ate the wrong foods. You probably ate at the wrong times. You probably ate, and by time, I don't mean necessarily time of day. I just mean you're eating emotionally. You're eating from stress. You're eating to take the edge off of some state of being that you don't like, right? That you want to change. You have an edge and you want to soften that edge. And if you eat foods, that helps, right? If you eat chips, if you eat sweets, if you eat sugar, if you eat all of those trigger foods, right? You know what your trigger foods are. You eat those foods, it takes that edge off. What The Biggest Loser didn't address is how to deal with emotional eating. What are some tools that you can use to deal with your emotions other than eating unhealthy food, right? And when I say unhealthy food, I really mean food that's devoid of nutrition, food that has been processed to the hilt, food that gives you that dopamine response that you're looking for, meaning those engineered foods that are engineered for hyperpalatability. And I've talked about that before. Hyperpalatability in food is super dangerous. But that's what sells food. And these big food companies have food engineers on staff to engineer their products for hyperpalatability so that you physiologically can't eat one, right? Anyway, that's another topic, a soapbox issue, if you will, for me. So emotions, you've got to have tools to deal with emotions. So to sum up in this revamped episode of The Biggest Loser, yes, I probably will watch a little bit just to see what they're doing, but my guess is because they got such good ratings for so long, they're going to continue on doing what they were doing before, which is exercise, because that gets ratings, right? That gets advertising dollars. So they're going to over-exercise people. They're not going to teach them about proper food, proper nutrition. They're not going to deal with people's emotions in a proper way. And they're going to do really, really dangerous things with very overweight, out of shape people who don't have any business doing those things. So if you're ready to commit to yourself, if you're ready for a program that is sustainable, where you get nutrition, you actually feed your body what it needs, you feed your cells what they need. If you're ready for a program like that, then let's talk. In the description, I put the link. Get yourself on my calendar and let's talk. Let's create a strategy for you so that you can lose weight, feel great in your body, right? Because that's really what I'm all about, is healthy longevity. You want to feel great in your body. You really want to be able to do what you came here to do in this lifetime, right? In a body that feels great. And you want to be able to do that for a really long time. So let's get you into a good, healthy, strong body in a way that you can sustain, in a way that gives you some tools to deal with your emotions when you've had a really bad day. So click the link, get on my calendar. It's rightsizeyourbody.com/apply. Get on my calendar. I would love to talk to you. And thanks for watching.